Oh, well, guys, I don't know what to say. The Jacksonville Jaguars are bad. And they might not even be just bad. They might be like a top five worst team in the NFL. Okay. The Jaguars are picking up kind of right where they left off in 2023, where we thought, okay, you started the season 8-3, then you kind of had this landslide because Trevor Lawrence was injured and much of the players around Trevor Lawrence were injured. But man, the Jaguars have started off 2024 in the same, if not maybe even worse fashion. Okay. When you go back to week 1 and week 2, the Dolphins and Browns are 0-4 combined against teams not named the Jaguars. And then, but NFL is weird. Any given Sunday, or in this case, Monday type of situation, the Jaguars really had a chance here where they could have beat the Bills on Monday Night Football, where everybody's watching. You got national attention on the Jaguars, and they had an opportunity to win this game and really set up for a huge game in Houston, where the 1-2 Jaguars would play the 2-1 Texans, and with tiebreakers and stuff like that, the Jaguars could all of a sudden be tied for first place in the AFC South. But man, one of the worst games I can ever remember the Jaguars playing. And of course, the Jaguars lose to the Bills 47-10, which we will get into. But man, we could talk about a lot of stuff this game. But I mean, everything went bad, everything went terrible, and all this stuff is happening in the year where Shad Khan, he was seen on, the Jaguars do the hunt, video, inside access, behind the scenes Jaguar stuff. And, we saw Shad Khan's opening message to the Jacksonville Jaguars players. He said, look, I've been quoted and I don't want to be misquoted, so I'm going to say it right here. We expect a winning product this year. We expect the Jaguars to go to the playoffs, and this is the best roster we've ever had. This is the best coaching staff I've ever had. And man, is that looking like a cold take exposed right now. I mean, the Jaguars are 0-3. They've looked pitiful outside of one good half against the Miami Dolphins. And the Jaguars here lose to the Bills 47-10. And I mean, this game, the whole entire game was bad. I mean, we can just discuss the first half. I mean, the game started off, Buffalo had a long 10-play, 70-yard drive. They go up 6-0 because they missed the extra point. The Jaguars start off, they go 3 and out. Then Buffalo has an 11-play, 65-yard drive. Then now they're up 13-0. Then the Jaguars have a long drive. They ended up going into the red zone, but did not convert, so they got a field goal. So it's 13-3. Then Buffalo, next drive, gets an 8-play, 68-yard drive, touchdown. So what is that? 20-3. Then the next drive, Trevor Lawrence just threw a terrible interception, probably one of the worst throws I've ever seen Trevor Lawrence make. Had Brian Thomas Jr. wide open, threw it over him, and ended up getting right into the hands of Damar Hamlin, and results in a turnover for the Jaguars. Then, of course, Buffalo, 5-play, 41-yard touchdown drive from there. So they go up 27-3. And then the Jaguars, next drive, they get one first down before getting a turnover on downs. And then the Buffalo wound up getting a 5-play, 56-yard touchdown drive. So, at the half, the Jaguars were down, what was it, 34-3. Let me check real quick. I don't want to be wrong here. Stats, box score, go to team. Yeah, the Jaguars were down 34-3. And the reason why I rechecked that, because I was like, that sounds like way too much. My numbers must be off. 34-3, the Jaguars were down at halftime. The Buffalo Bills scored a touchdown on every single drive in the first half. 5 straight possessions, 5 straight touchdowns for the Bills. Just terrible first half. The Bills had 288 total yards versus the Jaguars 70 yards in that first half. And The Jaguars responded, opening drive touchdown right after that, which resulted in the Jaguars' only touchdown of the game. But then all of a sudden you're down 34-10. I mean, there was no coming back from that. The Bills had a field goal drive from there. Then the Jaguars, for the rest of the game, kept going for it on fourth down, and the rest of the team, it was just bad. And man, when you look back on it, Trevor Lawrence is 0-8 in his last 8 starts. Man, and he had a bad game. He had a very, very bad game. He looks like he has no confidence right now. He looks shooken up. He looks just bad. And, he's had good throws here and there, but so does every quarterback. Every quarterback has good throws here and there. And, there's people frustrated that did we give him that contract too early? Of course, Trevor Lawrence was set to play on his 5th-year option. And yeah, it's not good. He was actually set. He was only going to his 4th year, right? Yeah. So they had plenty of time to pay him, and maybe they did it too early. And I know I was one that said, okay, this is a good deal. I'm glad we got this thing done, but it's starting to look a little bit sour. And sometimes I wonder, like, the Jaguars just have so much, like, as an organization, they just organizationally suck. You know what I mean? And it's just the fact of the matter. And it's like, if Patrick Mahomes would have been drafted by the Jaguars, would Patrick Mahomes even be good? Like, there just seems like so much stink on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And yeah, we'll get lucky. We'll get a playoff year here or there. I mean, we look back at 2017, you look back at 2022, but the Jaguars just have not been able to have, really, even since Coughlin, just sustained success. You're in the playoffs every year. I mean, every year when people are filling out their playoff brackets, I mean, you can take a Sharpie and put in the Chiefs and the Bills. You know what I mean? Will the Jaguars ever get to that level? I don't know. It definitely doesn't seem like under this current regime. And I can't believe we're talking about this after only 3 weeks, but the Jaguars are 0-3 right now. Statistically speaking, there is a very, very, very low chance of making it into the playoffs. And, there's people out there saying, like, the AFC South is weak. We might have a chance. Look, like, all it takes is the Colts may not be good. The Texans, the Titans may not be good, but the Texans are pretty good. I mean, I know they just lost to the Vikings, but they're a good team. And the Jaguars played them on Sunday in Houston, and we're probably going to get boat raced. We're probably going to get killed. And I can't believe I'm talking about new regimes, but Shad Khan has to be pretty mad. He has to be very, very mad right now because he dished out $500 million this offseason. And what do? They turn around and they go 0-3. They're in week 2, they're healthy scratching their 2nd round picks and both of their 4th round picks. It's not good. We are not in a good situation. And it's almost like this team needs a whole entire reset. I mean, there's already been rumors about, Pete Prisco said this today about how there is a little bit of rift between Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson. And who could have predicted that, right? Everywhere Trent Baalke goes, he has friction with the head coach. And for some reason, Trent Baalke seems to win out. And I just can't imagine if the Jaguar season goes sideways, if somehow Doug Peterson gets fired, but Trent Baalke lives to see another day, and he's out there helping hire the next coach. It's a weird situation. The GM has way too much control over this team. He is basically the vice president of football operations at this point. And, he's out there at Jaguar practices, like, trying to coach players. Like, a lot of times GMs come out there, see what's going on, just kind of leave. But Trent Baalke is very involved. And, you look at the flip side, Doug Peterson, my big concern about Doug Peterson is just, like, you look at the energy of this team. They looked so lethargic on the sidelines. Like, I knew we were cooked after the first 3 and out from the Jaguars, honestly. Because you look at the sidelines and, like, the players just like I'm like, dude, this team has no juice right now. There's absolutely no juice. And it's just so concerning that, like, what is the direction of this franchise? I don't know. It just feels like they need a full factory reset. I'm a guy like I'm still going to believe in Trevor Lawrence for now. I mean, he's having a very, very bad year. There's no doubt about that. And obviously, his last 8 starts, he's 0-8. The numbers speak for themselves. I mean, I'm a guy that doesn't feel like the offensive coaching is doing very good for him, but and I've always made the excuse for him like the offensive line is bad. The offensive line today was good enough. I mean, they were actually pass protecting very well, and Trevor Lawrence was sailing passes, just wasn't doing enough, and his mental clock is sped up a lot, and I don't know. It just feels like the Jaguars have a broken quarterback right now, so they need to figure something out with that. I mean, obviously Trevor Lawrence is going to still be your guy. There were people people were calling for Mac Jones. Mac Jones went in there and kind of stunk it up. Had a fumble, should have had a pick six. I mean, you got to keep riding with Trevor Lawrence. Keep riding with Trevor Lawrence, and you reevaluate things next year. I imagine he's still a quarterback unless the Jaguars magically end up with like the number 1 overall pick, and it's like maybe they decide that they want to do some research on what kind of quarterbacks are available in that class. I don't think they will, but you bring in a new GM, a new head coach, they might have their own thoughts, So it's a tough situation. When you go into the box score, shall we go into the box score? Trevor Lawrence, 21 of 38, 178 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He had his first turnover of the year, also had 4 sacks for himself. Travis Etienne led the team in rushing, 11 attempts for 68 yards, 6.2 yards per pop. Bigsby not really getting too many carries, 2 carries for 9 yards, 4.5 yards per pop. Had 1 really nice run. I think it was on a 4th down where he converted. Christian Kirk actually showed up today, 8 receptions for 79 yards. Also, Brian Thomas Jr., I wanted the game plan of going after Brian Thomas Jr., and they actually did that. They went after Brian Thomas Jr. very early, and unfortunately, it just, he was covered a lot, and it just force-feeding him did not work as well as I would have wanted it to. But, yeah, 5 receptions for 48 yards for him. Gabe Davis, 2 receptions, 18 yards, and not really too much else. When you look at Josh Allen, he was 23 of 30, 263 yards, 4 touchdowns before they let Mitch Trubisky clean up duty. He was also the leading rusher, 6 attempts for 44 yards. Yeah, he did anything and everything he wanted against the Jaguars. 3rd down efficiency, Jags were 2 of 13. The Bills were 6 of 11. They were also 2 of 2 on 4th down. The Jaguars went for it 8 times on 4th down, 4 for 8. Went for it a lot at the end. And, yeah, total yards, it shows 239 yards Jaguars versus 388 for the Bills. But, man, like, this game, we were basically in garbage time in the 3rd quarter. It's crazy. Shout out to HUD3HY in the chat. He says, why aren't we getting Bigsby the ball more when he has been averaging more yards a carry? I don't understand. Well, I mean, I agree. He's a very, very good in between the tackles runner, but we were just down and out so quickly. I mean, when you go down as quickly as the Jaguars, where all of a sudden you blink and you're down 20-3, the game plan goes out the window. You're playing by Buffalo's game plan, okay? And at that point, you just got to throw the ball all over the place. And, yeah, the Jaguars just look flat out incompetent today. Incompetent football. And the Jaguars next week, they look to play against the Texans in Houston. It's going to be another very, very tough one, and the Jaguars could very well be staring 0-4 in the face. And what's statistically, how likely are you to go to the playoffs after starting off that? I don't know. So let me see if there's an injury report for the Jaguars, because I know Anton Harrison left with a knee injury, and we also, let's see. Okay, so Jaguars PR. Foye Oluokun had a foot injury, and he left the game early. So that's the first time we've seen him get actually hurt and out for the Jaguars. Anton Harrison had a knee injury. He never returned in the game. Cornerback Charian Jones had a shoulder injury, and he never came back. He was out. Yeah, the Jaguars, man. The Jaguars at cornerback are currently out. Tyson Campbell, Darnell Savage, Jarian Jones, we're out here playing like Daniel Thomas in the secondary. It's just, man, it's not good. It's not good, man. We are getting very, very injured, and we are not a good enough team to be able to overcome this stuff. Yikes. There's been better times in Jaguars land. There's been better times, but right now things are bleak. And I can't believe we're already here. I would have never thought the Jaguars would be in this situation with this team this early on, but at the same time, I'm not even that surprised. I mean, it's just bad. Tristan says, I don't know why we don't keep our defensive starters on the field, trying to get something going and get some juice, and backups are playing half the time. Yeah, it is weird the way Ryan Nielsen plays the defense. He like subs in and out linebackers. Now, granted, this game, Foye Oluokun got injured, so he didn't come back in. But, man, if I'm the Jaguars, if Foye Oluokun's healthy, I'm never letting him leave the field. It's very weird seeing Chad Muma and Ventrell Miller out there playing for the Jaguars. But, you know, it's almost like you're a Pop Warner team, and you need every player on your team to get at least 6 defensive snaps, you know? So it's just crazy. Alex says, bad coaching of good talent. It's on us for getting our hopes up. Yeah, and, you know, I put a lot on Doug Peterson. It just doesn't seem like the players are fighting. It seems like the players are, like, checked out. You know, I looked at the sidelines, and it's just no energy. Yeah, put a lot on Trent too. I mean, I don't think this team is that talented, really. I mean, if you look at the way good GMs draft, like look at the Lions, man. You go through their drafts, and it's like every player is a hit. You know, they're getting day 3 contributions, like significant ones, and we're lucky to get one day 2 pick work out for us. You know, it's just, and you look at Aiden Hutchinson, that should get Balky fired right away. I mean, look, year 3, this is a year where Trayvon Walker is supposed to take that next step and really realize that he's better than Aiden Hutchinson. He's not. Aiden Hutchinson is an absolute beast. And, you know, we're going to try to be the smartest guy in the room and draft to Trayvon Walker instead of Aiden Hutchinson because Trayvon Walker has longer arms. I mean, come on, man. Come on. It's just, it's sad. The state of the Jaguars is sad. And, I don't know where the Jaguars go from here, but it's definitely not a good situation. So I want to real quick go and show off some of what's going on Twitter. So let's see what the NFL is saying. So yeah, Bills fans are celebrating. Jaguars not even native to Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, DeMar Hamlin, shout out to him. He got himself a pick. Second week in a row, I'm leaving the game thinking I just saw Trevor Lawrence play one of the worst games of his career. Yeah. And look, according to Gus, this is the 3rd worst game of Trevor Lawrence's career by total expected points added. Yeah, that is not ideal. Not ideal. He was bad. I mean, he was really, really bad. Don't act like you weren't praising Trayvon Walker. I mean, if you follow me, guys, I was not a fan of that pick. I was not a fan of that pick from day one, all the way until they drafted him. And Jaguar fans were telling me, stay patient, stay calm. You know, it'll all work out at the end. And I believed in it because I'm not someone that just wants to be overly negative all the time and stuff like that. But it has not played out well and not a good pick. Trent Baalke just tries to be the smartest guy in the room. Jaguars are getting rolled by backups. You love to see it. Until the Colts play them, I swear I can see it coming. Yeah, that's a Colts fan saying that. It's true. We were getting worked. Jordan DeLuca says, Jaguars reach new franchise low. It is a low, man. We are at a very low point right now, unfortunately. We're watching who we thought was our franchise quarterback just look terrible. I'm sorry if my I don't know why it looks so bad on my screen. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it looks so blurry. But we'll continue to go through here. Me watching the Jaguars second half pillar to see how bad it gets. That is all of us. Let me just search up Jaguars. Yeah, and Cam Robinson is another guy that's just having a terrible year. Currently watching a Jaguars game. That's what it feels like. The Jaguars are the worst team of football, and they have playoff level talent. See, I disagree. I don't know if we have playoff level talent, especially with all these injuries, man. Jaguars are 3-9 since disrespecting the terrible towel. This should be a lesson learned for other teams. Yeah, this is fun times, man. We were winning games. It's honestly impressive how the Jaguars are handed the number one pick at QB, then proceed to hire a GM who has rotted every franchise he's been to, hire a coach that didn't know who Aaron Donald was, hire a geezer who couldn't get over his obsession with the opposite coordinator. The Jaguars are so bad that the broadcasting crew is talking about hookah lounges to pass time. Yeah, and I was live streaming the game. It was tough. Guys, I think the Jaguars might be terrible. The Jaguars owner said he expects to win now. He expects playoffs. He thinks this is the best team they've ever had. They're now down 34-3 on the road against an AFC contender at halftime. Ominous feeling. Gosh, it's bad. The Jaguars have been the worst team in the NFL since that fumble. Got to find a way. Yeah, against the Jaguars really almost went up 24-7 against the Dolphins until they had that terrible fumble. Wife, what's wrong? Me, nothing. Wife, okay, me. It's just that the Jaguars are about to get boat race on Monday Night Football, and you don't seem to care. This was 13 hours ago, too. Yeah. Peterson called it a must-win game, and the Jaguars rolled out looking like they didn't even practice. Dude, like, something needs to give, man. Our first-round pick and our next head coach. Yeah, I would be all in on Ben Johnson and just bring somebody from that Lions organization in the GM too, because I want what the Lions are cooking. That's for sure. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence stares at Doug Peterson. Yeah, and I mean, I personally, I know Trevor gets a lot of blame, but I feel like the Jaguars are failing Trevor Lawrence. Like, Jaguars the only team that can get a generational prospect and just make him fail and make him look terrible. Like, I think it's such an organizational issue. I know I'll get hate for that, but I can sit here and say Trevor Lawrence is playing really badly, but it just feels like it's an organizational issue at this point. The Jaguars had the ball at the Bills 7. False start, incomplete, drop, false start, sack. Ended up giving the ball back 20 yards later to the 27. Yeah. Yeah, this Mac Jones thing did not work out. Yeah, I saw that, man. Yeah. I mean, it probably didn't change the game. I doubt that would have changed everything, but it's crazy. Final score. Let's see what the comments are to the Jaguars official score thread. Nothing changes if nothing changes, says Clay Harbor. Urban Meyer was better. LMFAO. Wait, we're clowns. Always have been. Wasted season. Super Bowl. Jaguars exit here. It's time to call the big guns to save the season. Bill Belichick. That'd be an interesting one. I would rather Ben Johnson get a guy a little bit younger. Longest drought of winning a Monday night game. The Jaguars have not won a Monday night football game in 24 years and 11 months. 1999 was the last time. Oh my gosh, I was 6 years old. I want to talk crap, but I'm a Titans fan. Don't let Press Taylor on a team playing. Y'all can keep sounds of the game to yourself this week. We don't want it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Not good times here in Duval. So yeah, usually when I do these streams, I try to bring out like a positive spin. I don't have that for you guys this week, guys. The Jaguars are legit, might be the worst team in the NFL. I mean, they're in a battle with the Titans for worst team in the NFL. Let me see. I think they're the only team right now, them and the Titans, that have no wins on the season. Let me see. Standings. The Bengals. Let me see what's going on in the Bengals game. Yeah, so the Bengals lost, which is kind of crazy. So the only teams without wins in the NFL are the Titans, the Bengals, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Statistically speaking, there's less than a 10% chance teams that go 0-3 make the playoffs. So I got that for you guys. The Jaguars quarterback looks lost. Our team, for the second week in a row, looks extremely unprepared. And it's only September. And I don't know if anything's going to change tomorrow or this week or at any time. I know because for me, it all starts from the top. I mean, Shad Khan, he's a fine owner. He puts a lot of money in this team, but his issue is that he doesn't really know how to hire people. So he's got to get someone to help him with the search. You got to fire the GM. Trent Baalke has a terrible track record. He doesn't deserve to keep his job based on the way he's drafted, and he's wasted a lot of Shad Khan's money. And honestly, he's the vice president of football operations right now. So you got to cut the head off the snake, and then you got to probably let Doug Peterson go, and you got to rebuild this thing, man. Revamp, get new leadership in here, just change. And they fired Dave Caldwell in the middle of the season. I don't know what firing Trent Baalke does right now does. It's just, I don't know. I got nothing positive for you guys, but I'm going to end this here. Thank you guys for tuning into the Bleacher Report app. I'll be live after all these Jaguar games in September and October. And we'll see if they want to bring me back, because I don't know if I can spin this any positive for you guys, but luckily you guys are kind of here to listen to me rant, and not good times right now. Not good times. But hey, you guys enjoy your week. Don't let the Jaguars affect you guys too much. Life goes on, and we go on. But we'll keep you guys updated with all your different Jaguars updates right here on the Bleacher Report app. Go Jags.